we are going to change it up a bit.
Ah, okay.
Now it's David's turn to ask you some questions. So he's going to do that, and you can respond, again, using the LiveSift system. So if you're not logged on or you've logged out, log back on. And again, the participant code, David Ige Live, all one word, and you can answer David's questions. David?
Yes, you know, we did think after 2 weeks ago when we started this, we thought, okay, how can we use it so that I can benefit rather than just getting evaluated on every answer. And so we thought we'd ask the question. So the first question that I wanted to ask was, what factors do you think are most important in developing technology or high tech as an economic engine in Hawaii? And the 4 things that we identified as possible responses, you know, create more opportunities for startup accelerators, to attract more venture capital investment, or 3, lure a large tech company to Hawaii, or 4, push for higher speed broadband internet connectivity. So that's kind of the 4 options. I know that there's probably 1,000 other things, but you know, clearly if you have a brainstorm and a bright idea, send an email and we'll look at it.
Okay, well,
so let's see what's let's see how well it's really moving. Broadband kind of jumped up. Accelerators.
So let's talk about some of the how-tos here, David.
That would be great.
If we're going to, for example, really put an effort into broadband, how do we do that? What are the steps?
Well, you know, like I said, I think that because of the window of opportunity involved with these projects, they are moving so quickly. And I do know that that's even a challenge for landing cables in California now. You know, the rules and regulations and the studies required to any project landing on the coast, the timelines are just so long that it becomes virtually impossible. So what the Broadband Task Force, 4 years ago, one of their big ideas was really to fund cable landing and have the state plan it and pay for it up front. You know, the belief is that once a cable project decides that we could recoup the investment, because we wouldn't want to be in the business of running the cable landing. But if we had done that, then that would allow us to have all the permits and all the approvals, you know, and we could actually construct it ourselves. We could pre-approve if we are smart enough about what the requirements are in terms of designing it, to have then the cable either build it or we would build it and then recover the cost. So I think that that's a real important one. The other one, like I said earlier, was really to invest in and have the university have some funds so that they could be active participants if somebody is kind of running through, and if they were a participant on the cable, just like Southern Cross a while ago, that really was an added impetus for it landing in Hawaii. So.
And what about the accelerators? This is near and dear to my heart. Of course, I didn't write these answers.
Sure.
I didn't. But and the state has been very supportive of our program under a previous administration. So what would be going forward?
I mean, you know, we did create the high growth initiative that the Hawaii Strategic Development Corporation has kind of advocating. You know, I created the High Tech Strategic Development Fund because I thought that it was a way to have state participation and to really attract and begin to attract venture capitalists to the state, and then the accelerators programs are just really the current way to help business development. So I mean, it's really, I think, about funding the Strategic Development Corporation and trying to look for co-investments in accelerators in the state of Hawaii. So I think that that's the logical one. We have been working with a lot of the pension funds. As you know, pension funds are really investors in a lot of venture programs. So looking at and encouraging their risk capital portion of their portfolios to be really looking at accelerators and funds in the state of Hawaii.
That sounds good to me. Okay,